amazing thing, the way we've been made, we can determine ourselves to turn things around. We can turn things around. But the motivation for turning things around, come on Hank, let's go please, comes from in many different ways. Sadly, it usually comes through pain and suffering. And it's pain and suffering that can be micro-incrementally self-inflicted, that happens slowly and then gradually builds into a problem that's bigger than we can fix. Negligences, small negligences that we ignore, that we know about, but we ignore. We might feel sorry for ourselves and put our heels in the ground and decide, no, I'm just not going to cooperate with people that want to fix this particular problem. I'm just not going to fix it. I've got resentment, bitterness, anger, disappointment, and my way of paying the world back for the way I feel is to not fix an obvious problem. I'm not going to fix the obvious problem in my life. I'm going to make people see it. I'm going to make people realize it. And I'm just going to stay this way in stubbornness and be determined to get attention through my problem. And people do this every day. Every day. People are wasting their lives not fixing problems that they could fix. It's got nothing to do with God's help or the devil or religion and all that. All you have to do with religion basically is believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you will be saved, but that's too hard for most, because we get into religion and overdo it. We go all too far with that until we wear ourselves out and don't want to do it anymore. The church hasn't done a good job really, when you think about it, in just keeping it as simple as believing. They've gone way too far. As soon as you add to faith, saved by grace, the trouble starts. But everybody has a choice. Now, everybody can change for the better. And if they choose not to, because they like the things that are harming them, then they've got nobody else to blame but themselves. So where do we go from there? If the baseline is harm and self-punishment, and stubbornness and destructiveness, because it all flows over onto the mindset. A person that is negative towards himself will eventually be negative toward everybody else around them. And again, this is another way in which trouble starts, because at first everybody's doing okay and getting along, and then the drugs come in and the alcohol and other habits. Then you've got the psychological negative characteristics that come in alongside that of tiredness, laziness, negativity, hungoverness, laziness, mind fog, incorrect thinking, delusions, arguments, dissensions, dissatisfactions. All these things are followed by wrong thinking. Delusion, that's the big one. When we're arguing for something, no, just talking to the dog. When we're arguing for something or believing in something, which many of us do, that's just not going to be of any value to our life. Our partner starts to get tired of us, or we start to get tired of our partner. One of the big ones I've found in the disintegration of my relationships has been the person that you're with allows people to cross into the intimate dimensions of the relationship. There's an intrusion, there's interference. And you bring it up and, you know, you're on the back foot because usually it's somebody like a family member or someone significant in that respect. And the next thing you know, you're being told that you're jealous of this person or some one thing or the other. And all you're trying to do is get order, but that's not going to compute for very long at least. It will compute at first. But then if the person that's causing the trouble continues to carry on and etc., then it's not going to compute. It's not going to work. The next thing you find yourself as the enemy. They're not going to fix the problem. They don't want to. You're now the problem. And again, it's parallels with narcissism in the way in which these problems cause things to disintegrate. And disintegration or devaluation, rather than resolve, is a primary trait according to the psychologist's field, of narcissism and other personality traits, but narcissism in particular. And it comes by way of lack of individuation and separation from parent to child. That's why a lot of family members cause a lot of the trouble, because they haven't individuated and separated from one another. They've just allowed themselves to remain enmeshed, and they interfere in everything, and they bring down everything, and they just end up with each other. You're just a commodity. You're not as valuable as you think, because DNA is a hard nut to crack, and you have to accept that sometimes you're not as valuable as you think.